All right, hi guys. Today we're going to follow up on something that I ended my last video with, and that's how climate science, climate alarm, climate change science, climate physics completely inverts reality. It is a complete reversal and inversion of reality. Today I have my gaming headset on because some people said that the sound wasn't coming through all right perfectly, so maybe this thing will help with sound because it has this mic boom on it. So, all right, so let's get to how climate physics inverts reality. So here we have the basis of climate physics here on the left-hand side. This is the basis of climate physics. This is the basis of their greenhouse effect. It's how they derive and invent their version of a greenhouse effect. And you will recall, and I will do a future video on this soon, that their greenhouse effect is not how an actual real greenhouse functions. In fact, how a real greenhouse functions compared to their invented version of a greenhouse effect are contradictory to each other. They actually mutually contradict each other. And their invented version of a greenhouse effect that they invented for climate alarm, so that they could lie to you with flat earth theory, it should in theory actually function in a real greenhouse effect. There's nothing that says that this process that they've invented here shouldn't occur in a real greenhouse too. But it doesn't occur in a real greenhouse. It's actually, a real greenhouse is actually empirical evidence, empirical proof that their alternative invented version of a greenhouse effect based on flat earth theory does not actually exist. We'll get into that in a future video. Right now I want to talk about how they invert reality. Of course, they start off with this ridiculous reality that they've invented of having a flat earth with sunshine spread over the entire earth at once. That's what they're doing here mathematically with this term, energy from the sun times the absorptivity of the earth divided by 4. That's spreading sunshine over the entire surface area of the earth at once, as if the earth is a flat plane. Yeah, that's the basis of climate physics, and they teach that in modern physics. So this is their heuristic. This is their heuristic that they use to teach how the climate works, and it's based on flat earth theory, and from there they then invent their greenhouse effect where the air provides twice the energy to the earth that the sun does. Yep, that's their physics. That's their heuristic. So here I created a different heuristic, a reasonable heuristic, actually more based on reality, where you have sunshine coming into the earth with a spherical earth and sunshine coming in, not divided by 4, and spread over surface area that it never actually exists, never physically occurs, but real sunshine spreading over the real earth, over the hemisphere of the earth only. And when you do that, then you get a sun, a solar power, which can actually create the climate. Here, the climate cannot be created by the sun, and the climate creates itself with this thermodynamics violating scheme of the atmosphere, the air providing twice the heat to the earth than the sun does. So here, in this realistic heuristic, the sun creates the climate because the sun has the power to do that when you actually spread it over the surface area that it actually falls on, which is only ever a hemisphere, right? So if you just look at these values, here's the real sun coming in as it actually comes in, and the real power of sunlight, not divided by 4, the actual real sunlight as it actually physically exists. And when it falls on the earth, it's quite warm, 80 degrees Celsius, 90, more than enough power and energy to create the climate all of itself, all on its own. Now, of course, the energy comes in on only one side of the earth from the sun, but the earth then, for conservation of energy, emits power, emits its own energy, thermal energy, over its own entire sphere. Now, for conservation of energy, how that works out mathematically is this value here, this equation here. The energy coming in from the sun divided by 4, because it's being output over the entire surface area of the earth at once, which gives you that factor of 4. And then that comes out to that energy value and that temperature value of effective temperature value of minus 18 degrees Celsius. So that's the output of the earth. You see that equation right there? So the energy comes in, creates the climate, and then gets output as residual heat, as this value. and the effective temperature of the Earth, the whole Earth at once, is quite cool, only minus 18 degrees Celsius. But that doesn't mean that the sun is cold. Obviously, the sun is driving the climate with its warm temperature, high temperature. So you see that value there? That's the output of the Earth. The energy input from the sun divided by 4 is minus 18 degrees Celsius. That's the output of the Earth. Where do we see that term over here in their flat Earth heuristic? We see it right here as their input. They have entirely reversed reality. They have inverted reality. That's the quality of these physicists. That's the quality of climate physics. That's the quality of the entire worldwide scientific academic machine, and that's what they're teaching you and trying to get you to believe in. They start with flat Earth physics, flat Earth, a flat line that they literally draw on a piece of paper. They literally draw a flat line and say, this is Earth. They literally say, let's spread the sunshine over the entire surface area of the Earth as if it is flat. That's what they literally do. And you ask them, they say, well, I don't actually believe that the Earth is flat. And it's like, well, nevertheless, that's what you're doing with your mathematics. It's nice that you don't believe that the Earth is actually literally flat. Then why are you creating mathematics and physics and heuristics which depict exactly that? They are in a contradictory position, and they are effectively pushing and knowingly and willingly pushing flat Earth theory. And when you confront them on it, they'll defend it. So they are complicit. They know what they're doing. So they have inverted reality. They have put the output of the Earth as the input. They have exchanged the output of the Earth for the input of the sun. So it's a complete inversion of reality. They start with this non-reality of a flat Earth, and because it's when things go wrong, they go wrong right at the beginning. And once you make a mistake at the beginning, everything else that follows is likewise going to be a mistake, because an error propagates. An error propagates through the machine, right? So they start with this flat Earth, and from there, all sorts of error is generated. The error of reversing reality, reversing the direction and flow of energy. They're using the output of the Earth as the input. Then the next error, they make the air generate magically twice the heat for the Earth than the sun provides. So error after error after error is then generated, and everything in climate alarm physics, everything in climate alarm, everything in climate change, everything in the field of climate science done at universities and around the world is interpreted, oh, that's got to stop doing that. Everything around the world is interpreted through this paradigm, through a paradigm of a flat Earth with an inversion, a reversal of what the input is versus the output, and this idea that the air provides twice the heat to the Earth than the sun does. Everything in climate alarm, everything in climate physics, standard climate physics, is interpreted through this paradigm. So it's complete and utter inversion of reality. Here's a reasonable heuristic, and it shows that the sun can create the climate of its own accord with its own energy. And here's theirs, where you have non-reality after non-reality, right? Isn't that amazing? It's hilarious. And they will defend it to the hilt. All right, so quick video for this morning. And it's a beautiful day out here where I am, so I'm going to go work on a table. Take care, guys. Nice to talk to you again. Bye.